Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel Rather Be Reading, and today I'm bringing to you a recent reads video. Okay, it has been a week. I have quite a few things that I want to address before we get into the reading aspect of this. First off, the lighting. It is super gloomy and rainy today. It is currently 20 past 11 in the morning. And as you can see, the lighting on my actual face and stuff is not too bad, but the background is super dark. We just have to deal with it. It is what it is. I can't control the weather. I'm also not wearing any makeup, and it's nothing to apologize for, but I'm annoyed about it. But that is partly because of the next thing that I need to address. I it's been a rough week. I injured my neck really badly this week. I have a really severe muscle spasm. Apparently you can just do that in your sleep. I'm one of those people now who are old enough to just injure themselves in their sleep. So I've been in a lot of pain. I've been off work all week. I have very limited movement in my neck, and I've been a lot of pain. I'm on quite a strong muscle relaxant and painkiller at the moment. So this video might be a bit strange in that I may have to move like my notebook up into shot to like see it, because I can't move my head the way that I normally would, which is why also I'm not wearing makeup, because I can't turn my head to like do my face properly and everything. I just thought it would end up looking weird, and I also have very low energy and everything. So this on my face is a zit. Don't think that I've smeared my face with chocolate or something and just didn't realize. It's a zit. Anyway, okay. Getting into the reading, it has been a week since I last checked in for a recent reads video, and I have completed 6 books this week. So it's been a really strange week in terms of that I've actually felt like I haven't been doing very much reading, because I haven't been at work all week because of my injury, or I don't really know injury because I didn't injure myself, whatever, because of my neck issue. And so because of that, I've had a lot more time to read, like a crap ton of time to read, but I also have been struggling because I have to literally hold the book like in front of my face, which like I can't lie and rest it because I haven't been able to lie in any position except literally flat on my back. It's a whole thing. So, but that somehow has like evened itself out, that because I have had a lot more time to read, even though I haven't been taking full advantage of that, I've somehow managed to end up reading about the same amount that I normally would, which is a good thing, I guess. So the very first book that I completed over this past week was I Know Your Secret by Ruth Held. This is a digital copy that I received in exchange for an honest review from NetGalley. This one is published on the 10th of June. I forgot what month we were in for a second. The 10th of June. So it is available now for you guys to purchase if you're interested. So this one is about a woman who, she's an actress, but she's trying to be an actress. Oh, now we've got cats on the table, and that's going to cause an issue because I can't keep them off very well. If there's a lot of cuts in this video, I apologize. Winifred, Winnie, you have to get down, baby. You have to get down. I can't move you off, so you're going to have to get down. Come on. Get down. Okay, sorry. It's about a woman who's an actress, but she's like trying to be an actress. It's not going well. So she's doing a bunch of different temp jobs and things like that to kind of make ends meet. When she is working at this company, and the CEO ends up hiring her to be a housekeeper / nanny / just general dog's body for him and his, well, not really for him, more for his wife and his daughter, who live out on this like kind of isolated country estate in France. And so she goes out there and becomes very like drawn into the life of his wife and him, and then starts to like be like, is everything kind of what it seems? So it's very like the atmosphere in it. I'm sorry, I'm on painkillers and muscle relaxant, so my brain is not quite where it normally would be. It's the atmosphere and everything. It was really good. I thought it created like a good, like creepy, like ominous vibe. Like you're like kind of like, what's going on? You can tell that there's kind of strange things, and you're on obviously this isolated estate. She's in a country where she speaks the language a little bit, but like limited. She has very limited contact with anyone outside of the house, you know, that type of thing. So I liked all of that. There's nothing overly like unpredictable in the plot. Like it all kind of goes kind of where you kind of would think that it would go. But that didn't super bother me. Like it was like an enjoyable ride. I quite liked the ending. I will say trigger warnings in this for self-harm and child abuse. In the end, I ended up giving that a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I completed is The Immortal List by Chloe Benjamin. This is a literary fiction. It follows the story. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm resting my arm on the table because I don't have a lot of strength to hold things up. This is literary fiction about 4 siblings who in the late 60s, when they're children, all go to see this like psychic type woman who gives them the date, like she predicts the date that they are going to die. We then basically follow them throughout their lives and see what happens with that. And it's not really the story of like about the mystery of are they going to die on that date or are they not. It's more just about how knowing this information, if it is correct, how it affects the way that they live their lives. Does it affect the way they live their lives? Does having a date that you think that you're going to die, does that become kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy? That type of thing. So I had mixed kind of feelings about this. So you actually follow it in like different parts. So like the first part is told from one sibling up to a certain point, and then you follow another sibling up to a certain point, then another, and you like swap between, like not swap because you don't move back and forth, but you like move through the different siblings. I don't know. I didn't connect to this the way that I wanted to, and like I found parts of it quite dull and boring, but at the same time I was like intrigued enough by the story that I wanted to keep going and I wanted to finish this. So in the end I gave this just a straight 3 stars. I will say, so I'm trying to look at my notebook, I will say that I have trigger warnings in this for HIV / AIDS, suicide, abortion, OCD, and kind of some disordered eating things in here as well. So that's the next one that I finished. Bear with me while I try to get books and stuff without moving. The next book that I completed is The Crossing by Michael Connolly. This is the 27th book in the Harry Bosch universe. So basically, I think it's like his 27th publication because, like, as I've said before, all of his books intersect. Now I've got another cat trying to get up on here. This time it's Giles. Giles, baby, move off. Come on. You guys, this video is just a big old mess. So this, like I said, is the 27th book. Honey, get down. Come on, get down. Oh, that hurts. Honey, can I use the book? Get down. He's getting down. Lord help. So this one I quite enjoyed. I really enjoyed the case, like the main case in this. This, if you don't know, is crime fiction. Harry Bosch is a police detective, a homicide police detective. I really enjoyed the case that's kind of going on in this one. I also really enjoy where we're at with Harry in his like career and like the way his career's progressed like to this point. I quite enjoyed that. The only downside kind of a little bit to this one was that there was no real like mystery to the case. We just kind of like going through the motions of kind of getting to where we were getting, but we kind of knew, because you do get kind of a villain perspective in this book, so you kind of knew like what was coming. There wasn't any real twists or turns to the plot. Far out, you guys. And I'm really sorry. So it is what it is, but I did, like I say, I did quite enjoy this one. Like I enjoyed the case and I enjoyed the ride of it. And like I said, enjoyed everything to do with Harry Bosch. So in the end, I gave this one 3.5 stars. I can't remember what book I read next. I need to refer. Okay. The next book that I read was Dumplin by Julie Murphy. This is I don't know why, when I very first heard people talking about this book on BookTube way back when, I always thought this book was adult, and it took me a really long time to realize that this is actually YA. So this is about a character named Willow Dean, whose mother calls her Dumplin. She lives in a small town in Texas that basically one of the only big things that goes on in this town is the beauty pageant. And her mother is the ex-winner, is like had won it in previous years and is now like the chair, like the head of the committee for the beauty pageant. But Willow Dean is a fat girl, a self-proclaimed fat girl, and feels very confident in, like, outwardly she's very confident in her body and everything and doesn't really care what other people think. She gets involved in kind of a romance over the summer, and that makes her start to kind of question some things. And then this is always like pitched as being like, and then she decides to enter the beauty pageant and blah blah blah, and that is part of the story. But I will say, just be aware that doesn't happen until a good chunk of the way through this book. I really enjoyed this. And a lot of people, like, the reviews of people, I think a lot of the people who said that they don't enjoy this so much is that they don't like Willow Dean as a character. I found her incredibly relatable. All of the body, like, image issues and the self-confidence issues, I just, like, spoke to me personally. Like, a lot of her, the way that she feels in particular, I just really related to. There's also a lot about friendship in here, and feeling like she's got a best friend, but they start to have kind of starting to drift apart a little bit, and like kind of their lives are moving on kind of different paths, and that causing friction. And I really related to that part of the story as well. In the end, I gave this 3.75 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to picking up the sequel, which is like a companion book about one of the side characters. Really interested in picking up that one as well. I should have mentioned, let me go back. The Immortal List is one of my Book Buddy-a-thon books. This fulfilled the prompt for your buddy to pick a book for you. This is the book that Chloe picked off my TBR for me. And I have decided to pencil in Dumplin to fulfill the challenge of reading a book about friendship. Because like I said, there's a lot to do with friendship themes in this, and they spoke to me in particular. And we have another cat up on this friggin' table. Winifred, get down. Lord help me. So I decided to pencil this one in for that. I then read The Safe Place by Anna Downs. You guys, I am a fucking mess. The whole review that I just gave for I Know Your Secret, please ignore all of that. That was the review for The Safe Place, which I just read. So that everything that I said about that plot and what I thought of that book, that's The Safe Place by Anna Downs, which I read at this point in the month. Now let me go back and tell you what I actually thought about I Know Your Secret. I'm telling you, I'm not firing on, like, at full capacity. Let me go back. Lord help me. I Know Your Secret is another Nick Ellie one. And this one, sorry, I Know Your Secret was published the 10th of June. The Safe Place is published on the 30th of June. So I Know Your Secret is about two women. One is a therapist and one is a patient of the therapist. The therapist does mainly like kind of marriage counseling. And you kind of know off the bat that both of these women have kind of secrets and stuff in their past. And that's basically what this story is about. I quite like, this one is quite psychological, which I really enjoyed. But again, nothing really mysterious in this one. Like, everything that happened was pretty predictable to me. So I'm trying to hold up my notebook so it's not completely blocking the camera, but so that I can see it and kind of read my notes. This was super quick and easy to read. It's only like 280 pages. There was one of the characters who I did feel like went from from 0 to 100 real quick in a certain way, which I didn't super love, but I did quite enjoy that one as well. And I gave that one 3.5 stars. So I'm sorry, I just shook the camera. I'm talking about all kinds of books in the wrong spot in this video. Whew, okay, and the final book that I read this week was Ive Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. This is an adult kind of chick lit story, and this is only the second Sophie Kinsella that I've ever read. This is about a woman who, it's kind of complicated, I guess, at the beginning. She is engaged, and she was at this, like, kind of a hen do or a bachelorette type thing at a hotel, having kind of like a high tea type of situation, when all of her friends were like trying on her engagement ring, and then something happens and the engagement ring goes missing, and she is frantic because this engagement ring is this like 3 generations old like family heirloom of her fiance, and she's lost it, and she's going absolutely nuts. She then goes out the front of the hotel to try to take a phone call about the ring when someone steals her phone, and she's again frantic because she needs a phone because she's giving out this number to everyone to get in contact with her about if they find this ring. When she sees a phone, not her phone, but she sees a phone. Did I say that the phone was stolen? I don't even know if I'm going to post this video. This is a fucking mess. She sees a phone in a bin, and she ends up picking it up, and it ends up being the phone of a PA to this like corporate guy who the PA quit and just threw the phone in the bin. And she finds it, and she's like, well, finders keepers, I really need a phone. I'm going to take it and commandeer it. And then a lot of like shenanigans ensue because she's getting all the messages and everything for this guy's like company and business and all of that. This is only the second Sophie Kinsella that I've ever read. And I really enjoyed the first one that I read from her, which was Wedding Night, I think that one was called. I really quite enjoyed that. I loved this. I don't know what it is about Sophie Kinsella's writing. It's just so enjoyable. The main characters and like stuff, they just get it. It's like, this is like full rom-com, silly kind of shenanigans, but like the writing in this was super humorous. I was like chuckling to myself all throughout. One of the main complaints that I saw about this one in the lower reviews of this one on Goodreads is that you have to really suspend your disbelief a lot of the time, because parts of it aren't like, wouldn't like necessarily happen. And I'm like, that's true, but that's the case for most of these type of books. And like, if you watch rom-com movies, a lot of stuff that happens in there, you're like, that wouldn't happen. That doesn't bother me. This was just so enjoyable. I also felt like this storyline could have veered into like some cheating territory, and it didn't, which I really, really appreciated. So I really, really, honestly, really enjoyed this, and I ended up giving this 4.25 stars. Okay. That's everything that I read, I think. With the way this video is going, who the heck knows? In terms of my current reads, so you may have noticed I didn't listen to any audiobooks. I was off work the entire week, so I wasn't listening to any audiobooks. So I do technically still have The Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb and Again But Better by Christine Riccio. But I'm technically still partway through, and I actually think I'm going to get at least one of those finished this coming week. In terms of what like non-audiobook I'm currently reading, I'm not actually technically currently reading anything. I finished I've Got Your Number last night, and I haven't picked up anything else yet, but the book I will be picking up is Shall We Dance by Maggie Alderson. This is another kind of contemporary chick lit. This one is like quite long. It's like almost 450 pages, but this is the next one that I need to pick up. So that's the one I'll be picking up. Now, for a quick bit of bonus content, maybe it'll make this video actually worth watching. Who the heck knows? I'm going to be redrawing my TBR Teacup pick for this month. So if you watched my June TBR, then you saw that the TBR Teacup book that came out this month was Dr. Zhivago by Boris Pasternak, which was to fulfill the prompt of reading a book that like related to an era or something mentioned in the Billy Joel song We Didn't Start the Fire. And as I was reviewing the lyrics to that song after I filmed that video, I realized that a book that I just hauled in my May book haul, Peyton Place, by Grace Metalius, is mentioned in the song by name. Peyton Place is literally a lyric in the song. And so I decided that I'm just going to read that to fulfill that prompt. And so I don't need to read Dr. Zhivago because that's a bit further down my TBR. It's also really long. And so I decided I'm going to redraw and pick a different TBR Teacup prompt because I will check off that challenge anyway. Which is so funny that worked out because I really didn't think I'd end up checking off that prompt naturally. But I will. So I'm going to redraw from the TBR Teacup. Ooh, that motion hurt. Okay, I'm not going to be able to pull it off on screen because it's just not in my physical capabilities. Let me see what we've got. Of course, that one came out and I just mixed them up. But this is the one that I actually drew out in the TBR video that I put back in the cup because I think I'm going to check this off. So I'm once again going to put that to the side and redraw because I think I'm going to check that off with a book of my TBR this month. And if I don't, then I'll do something about it then. So let's redraw. This is very awkward. I'm pretty sure I've already completed this one. This is to read a book with an ing, a word ending with ing in the title. I'm going to have to cut and come back once I've checked my spreadsheet because I can't do that the way I'm set up at the moment. So let me check and come back to you. Okay, I'm back. That was an effort. Yes, I have completed that. I was almost 100% sure because that's obviously something that comes up a lot. So I have done that one. So let me redraw again. Oh, interesting. So the one that's come up is the prompt to read a book for an underrated book, a hidden gem, or a lesser known book. Now, the book that I had penciled in for this is actually The Cutting Season by Attica Locke. I had never heard of this book or this author, and I've had this book on my TBR for like 4 years until this month. All of a sudden, Attica Locke is being mentioned quite a bit because I believe that Attica Locke is a person of colour. The only issue is I've also realised through people actually talking about Attica Locke that I think that this is the first book. Sorry, it's not the first book. I think it's not the first book. I think it's a book in a series and it's not the first book. So again, let me check that and I'll come back. Okay, I've checked. It's actually her only standalone, which is perfect. And I've had a quick check and it's only got just over 10,000 ratings on Goodreads. And like I said, I'd never heard of Attica Locke until, cats, you guys, Winifred, move out of shot at least. I'd never heard of it until this month, so I am going to read this for this prompt, and that's really great because it's putting a book by a Black author on my TBR for the month, which is perfect. So I'm replacing Dr. Zhivago this month with The Cutting Season by Attica Locke. Okay, that is it, you guys, for this video. I apologize that this video was such a friggin' crazy mess, but I just have to kind of work with what I'm able to do at the moment. Please comment down below and let me know if you've read any of the books that I read and what you thought of them, or let me know what you guys have been reading recently. I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my TBR. That is all from my TBR. If you want to see more from me, my lord, you guys, please like, please subscribe. That is all I have for this video today. Bye, guys.